Hi all, right back with more Labyrinth, playing the extended campaign. So this is part 7. So still the same day, probably the last. Yeah, this will be the last, but hopefully I can squeeze a full part in here though. Um, okay, so well, where are we at? Not much left of this turn actually. Situation, it's all happening in here, just in the middle really. Iraq, Afghanistan. Well, Pakistan's got a couple of cells in it now to worry about, to worry us. We've got a lot of troops out there though, so our troops are limited up there, but we had to bring them out for Iraq. Yeah, you can see that the more Islamic rule that gets chucked out there, you're going to be struggling because of the troop situation, aren't you? I do have 6 troops left up there now because I brought everything back, so I suppose technically we could carry out one more regime change, but let's try and maybe avoid that from happening this time. We'll stay on top of it, and the perfect example here is to watch Pakistan, because they've got 2 cells in there already, and they're probably going to prioritise that because they do have weapons of mass destruction. Okay, so I've got 2 cards left. I want to say I think the bot has 3 cards left. It is their turn. This is in play though, GTMO, so they can't carry out recruit operations or this detainee release. I think must be an event. It's not. It doesn't seem to be anything that's jumping out at me regarding any kind of special operation or anything like that. But unless I'm missing something, but anyway, I suppose it's going to come up if yeah, and I'll realise that it's not allowed. Okay, so right, so okay, first card for the jihadist of this phase. Yeah, probably they've got 2 phases left. We maybe actually, well, yeah, I think we're just going to have 1. I've got 2 cards in my hand, but I probably want to keep the Ethiopia strikes again. Not that anything's happening in Somalia, but or Sudan for that matter. No. Okay. Right, what we got? We've got a jihadist event. Oh, FREs. Okay, this is related to the Saddam capture, doesn't it? Well, what does it say on it then? Because let me bring the marker down. There's the marker that we've got in play here. So before I start reading this, so FREs, former regime elements go guerrilla. Play of troops in Iraq. There is, yeah. If Saddam captured, place 2 cells in Iraq. If not, place 4. Okay, so that's what the FREs is modified to. Okay, that makes sense now. So it's got the 2 on it there rather than the 4. Okay. That's still bad, I think. Now, hold on. It just says place 2 cells, so this is not a recruit operation. And I think you've got to take that literally. Yeah? Throughout the game, we're seeing these things. If it says place something or do something, I mean, if it said recruit 2 cells, then I would override it and say, well, you can't recruit it because of this. But it does say place 2 cells. So yeah, it's right. So we're going to play this, aren't we? As a playable non-US event, play the event. Is it unassociated? It is not. It's a jihadist event, so it's just going to end. So that's all we're going to do. Right, so put this marker back and events in play, and we'll do this. Right, let's have a little look at what it says. 51. Okay. So we're playing the FRE's event. 2003 to 2008, when remnants of Saddam's army, dubbed former regime elements by the coalition, and disaffected Iraqis who joined them, maintained resistance to the US occupation. Observers feared that the growing guerrilla army, despite its secular Ba'athist roots, would ally with and, through crossover, in effect recruit and train Iraqi jihadists. Okay? Alright, so we're going to play the event. Play of troops in Iraq, and there's 4 active cells. Oh, sorry, play of troops in Iraq. Yeah, okay, I misread that. Well, there is as well, because we just had a regime change. If Saddam captured, plays 2 cells in Iraq. If not, plays 4. Saddam has been captured. And yeah, I did read that wrongly at first, thinking it meant the cells. But there are troops in Iraq. So we're going to place 2 more cells there. And these will be sleeper cells. So there's 4 active and 2 sleeper cells. Okay, that's it. That's our first card play. So second card. Right, it's another jihadist event. And it's a big 3, so my guess is it might be a bit more powerful. So Al Jazeera, Arab TV spins extremism. Play if Saudi Arabia or an adjacent country has troops. Yeah, it's going to work. Saudi Arabia is adjacent to Iraq. Saudi Arabia doesn't have troops, but Iraq, which is adjacent, does have troops. So this is going to be played. I've not read on here, so let's hope it's not too bad. Play Saudi Arabia or an adjacent country as troops. Shift the country 1 box towards adversary. Okay, maybe it doesn't seem so bad. I don't know. These things might well be bad. So okay, Al Jazeera. It's event number 77. Let's just see what it's got to say for itself. Here we are. Al Jazeera, sponsored by the Emir of Qatar and largely staffed by Palestinians, popular news channel Al Jazeera became a phenomenon by introducing a politically critical mass medium to the Arab world. Unfortunately for the struggle against extremism, however, the station during much of the post-9/11 period aired smuggled Al-Qaeda videos, gruesome and relentless war footage from Gaza or Iraq, and partisan commentary on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Okay, so Al Jazeera, play Saudi Arabia or adjacent country as troops. It does shift the country. Oh, okay, so play if Saudi Arabia, or an adjacent country has troops. Right, hang on. Yeah, it's not going to shift. It's not going to shift Saudi Arabia, is it? It's going to shift Iraq. Play if Saudi Arabia or an adjacent country has troops. Shift the country 1 box towards adversary. Yeah, okay, so I read that wrong as well. So Saudi Arabia does not have troops, but adjacent Iraq does. So it's going to shift from poor ally to poor neutral. Well, it's just pretty bad because we need it to be ally for, like, if we do War of Ideas, it needs to be neutral or ally. Okay, so it is still neutral, but yeah, okay, fair enough. Right, that's it. That's fine. That's our second card play. Both these cards were jihadist cards, so they don't get to play the event and save some points as well, so reserve some points. Right, they've got 1 card left. We have 2. So Again, Ethiopia strikes is not going to do anything. And this, we could just remove the 2 cells that. Well, that's quite interesting though, because right, play if a Shia mixed country has cells and troops. Yeah, you do have the option of Afghanistan for this as well though. So if US play, remove up to 2 cells. Because yeah, it just says remove 2 cells, so this isn't a disrupt operation. So my take is we could just remove the 2 sleeper cells. I mean, yeah, because we could target Pakistan Afghanistan here, and they've only got sleeper cells, and we could just take 2 of them out. I'm not sure here. So we can either do this on Afghanistan or Iraq. I mean, that's all we're going to... And it seems worthwhile playing that for the event, I think. I have no reserves, have I? No. And then I think I will just save the other card, what is it? Ethiopia strikes. And just keep it in my hand again. Not that there seems any threat in Somalia, but I mean, I watched previous videos where, like I think I said, Somalia did become under Islamic rule, and the fact it's got 1 success already just sitting here waiting for it, the time might come, and if we can keep that card to be able to just play an event to remove that, and in fact it doesn't do the regime change, it would just remove it from Islamic rule to pure neutral. So it's pretty strong, although I could sit with it in my hand the rest of the game and maybe I'll not come into effect, but yeah. Right, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to play this for the event. Yeah, I'm just not quite sure where I'm going to play it yet. So, Jaish al-Mahdi, maybe. Yeah. Some of these pronunciations are going to be pretty tough. So, card number 106. On the next page. Right, here we go. Here, right. Yeah, I'm stretching across here to read this. So, Jaish al-Mahdi, the organisation of Iraq Shia extremist militias and their attacks on Sunnis, the government and on coalition forces. The organisation of Iraq Shia extremist militias and their attacks on Sunnis, the government and on coalition forces. See also Event 54. Put Iraqi governance to one of its most severe tests. Iraqi government and action threatened lawlessness, but overaction portended tyranny. Either error might have lit a civil war. Firm but judicious action by Baghdad in concert with occupation forces on its own eventually contained the Shiite militants. Right. Sorry, I'm struggling to read that a bit. I'm stretching over there as well. Okay, so we're going to play that for the event and remove up to 2 cells in either. It's got to have cells and troops. So like I say, we can take 2 out of Afghanistan or 2 out of Iraq. I don't know. See, if we do if there's 1 cell left in Afghanistan, I think if we do a disrupt, we can't flip it to active and remove it all at once. I'm pretty sure that it clearly says that in the rules, in fact. Give me a second. Yeah, there's a note here that says, a single disrupt operation could not first make active and then remove a single sweeper cell, nor could it remove both cells and cadre. Yeah, so if you've got one sweeper cell, you're going to have to carry out 2 disrupt operations. So, yeah, I just look at that thinking, whereas we could take these 2 sweepers out and there's 4 active cells remaining. It's the same. It would cost us 2 disrupt operations to remove them both, but to remove all 4 of them. Now, if they recruit, yeah, that GTMO was good actually. I don't know if we had other things to be doing though, didn't we? But the fact that I think they'd already done some recruiting before that card came into play, didn't they? That's going to go away. So come next turn, they're going to be starting to recruit again, and both of these are auto recruits, so yeah, I think I'm probably just going to go for Iraq. I think they've both got aid as well though, so we need to get a war of ideas going. And yeah, but the problem is they're both auto recruit anyway, so they don't roll on the governance anyway, so that doesn't really matter, does it? To do anything, you really need to strip them of all the cells, but take the cadre marker as well, Grant, like what you maybe could have done in Afghanistan. I don't know if I had time and the resources to do that, but obviously that would have been the better play, wouldn't it, if you could have done it. Yeah, I'm going to go for Iraq. It seems like I'm going to take these 2 cells that they just put in. So I'm going to remove them with the Jaish al-Mahdi card. So that goes into ample. Right. Okay. And yeah, and I think we'll do the same again. So I've only played 1 card, and I'm going to keep this last card. And you could do oh no, I can't. Both the countries are poor. I would need the 3 to be able to do that. And I could do something in Pakistan. You could carry out a disrupt in Pakistan, making the 2. Actually, no, it's only going to target 1 because there's no troops. Is that right? Or am I thinking about that wrong? Affect 1 cell if target's country's posture is hard. Oh, hang on. Affect 1 cell if target country's posture is hard. Affect 2 cells. Alright. Affect 1 cell. And then if target country's posture is hard, affect 2 cells. If 2+ troops, affect 2 cells and add 1 prestige. So yeah, if there's no troops, you're only getting to affect 1 cell enemy, aren't you? Yeah, that's why the troops around are better. No, I'm going to keep this card again. So I'm just going to end my turn there. And yeah, that'll be it. So we discard this. And the jihadist player's got 1 card left. So let's just deal with that now. Okay. Last card, Predator, right, well we played that before. So there's obviously a couple, 2 or 3 versions. I think there are some cards that have got multiples. Well they're not going to play that, so yeah. It's a 2 operations for them. So where are we? Two operations is not a playable non-US event. Major jihad success poor possible. No. Right, remember Pakistan's got 2 cells. Right, so funding is tight. No. Cell in good or fair Muslim where jihad success is possible. Yes. So Pakistan has cells in a fair Muslim and jihad success. A minor jihad success is possible. So yeah, so that's a yes, sorry, and so it's going to carry out a minor jihad, right? Right, yeah. Worse in governance. Muslim countries, not Iran, containing cells and not under Islamic rule. Okay, check. Special for each role in the target country, one cell there must go or already be active. This is a minor jihad unless target conditions both for major jihad are met. Well, they're not. We've not got five cells. Yeah, I mean, or I would have just went for that straight away, wouldn't it? So each success, worsen governance one level towards poor and remove one aid marker. Do not worsen to Islamic rule. Each failure, remove a cell to the funding track. Do not place cadre. Oh, okay, so yeah, okay, so if they both fail, right? So what are we doing? This was a 2 cost, so we're going to roll 2 dice. Yeah, okay, so both these cells are going to go active. Is that right? Yeah, they both go active anyway. Well, if they fail, they're going back to the track anyway. For each row in the target country, one cell there must go or already be active. Yeah, so we've got 2 cells, we've got 2 ops, and the it's fair, so we need to roll 2 or less. We got 2 dice here. A 1 or a 2. Oh my, how about that? 2 successes. Okay. I don't think the second success isn't going to matter, is it? But there's the case, if that was a 3, if we had 3 dice there, is it allowed to still be a major jihad? No. Because there's not 5 more cells than troops. I don't think so. You need to look up the rulebook for that. Selling good or fair is where jihad success possible. Well, you know what, it's not. I'm just wondering there if we had 3 successes. Because the first success is going to make this poor, right? Poor, it stays neutral. And then the second success, I can't move it to adversary, but I'm just wondering if we had 3 successes right now, would it then be allowed to be a major jihad? But surely not, because major jihad does say that it needs 5 more cells and troops. Yeah. It's a bit strange though, that, because if you had 5 cells, you would be doing the major jihad. I'm not sure, maybe there's reasoning behind that. Right, I don't think it can go any further then. Well, let's look up 8.4. Well, it can. It says, worsen governance 1 level towards poor and remove 1 aid marker. Do not worsen to Islamic rule nor shift alignment. So it stays neutral and it just moves to poor. Both the cells become active. Both stay there. They don't go back to the track because they succeeded. 8.4. Worsens governance. Poor. Note that unless conditions for major jihad are met, a jihad operation cannot shift a country to Islamist rule. And it clearly says that the target has to be a non-Islamist rule Muslim country that has 5 more cells than troops. Okay, so yeah, 2 successes, but it was 2 rolls of the dice to get it to poor. So that's dropped another fair country back. So we've only got 1, and we're now up to 7 poor Islamist. Now I've not missed anything there. I've got 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 poor countries. Yeah, there's no Islamist rule, and just the one fair country, no resources. Yeah, that's it. Okay, right. Well, that's them. They only had 1 card. That's that done. Right, so now we're moving at the end of turn. Okay, it's just tiny little text up there. Right, I can look at it in my camera, I can sort of see it. So -1 funding, because we're at the end of turn. Right, it's going to drop to 7, which is still, is it ample? Whatever that is, anyway. Right, -1 funding. -1 prestige. If not, no, I can't read it. If any country under Islamist rule, no. See, again, that was the reason why we had to do that, because you're going to lose. We don't want to lose prestige. +1 prestige if net world posture is 3, and the same posture as US. It is not. In fact, that's a bit risky. World's on 0. Yes, it's still hard, right? And then remove lapsing events. So I'm going to remove GTMO. It just goes discard, I guess. And reserves to 0. Both reserves are at 0. Well, again, the jihadist player would still keep his reserves. Deal new hands, and then regime change to tan. Right, so, well, before I deal new hands in, we might as well change that regime change marker over to tan. Got an aid marker there as well. And, yeah, right, okay, deal new hands. Right, so we are... in the war, so we get 8 cards. They're still in the top ample bit, just so we're gonna get 9 cards. Yeah, they probably would have dropped down there, but they gained some funding, didn't they? So they're getting 9, we're getting 8. We've still got our Ethiopia Strikes card. So let's just get a bunch of cards. Oh, right, we're still got a big pile of cards there. So 9 for them, 8 for us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, and 9 for them. Okay. Yeah, we've still got a big bunch of cards, haven't we? Okay. Yeah, I was thinking I was starting to move a little bit, but there's a long way to go, isn't there? I mean, yeah, no, there is. There's a long way to go. Right, okay, so there's their 9 cards. They're going to start the turn again. What am I at? 29 minutes. Yeah, I'll get another little bit going. Probably not go too far here. Well, yeah, I'm going to have to look at my cards and work things out. So before I do that, I might as well just let them have a couple of cards shot. See what happens. Right, so I was away there for a little bit. Where are we? We're about to start the next turn, aren't we? Yeah, I haven't looked at my cards, but yeah, jihadist player to go first. Not forgetting anything. Don't think so. Right, here we go. So first card play for them as a US event, Libyan deal. So again, they're not going to play that. It's a 3 ops card. Where are we? There we are. Okay, so playable non-US event. No major jihad success at poor possible. No. 5 more troops and 5 more cells and troops. Remember, so no. Funding tight. No. Selling good or fair Muslim where jihad success possible. Well, no now, because Pakistan done the jihad the last time. So no. Poor Muslim 1 to 4 more cells. Right, okay, this is going to happen, isn't it? So poor Muslim 1 to 4 more cells than troops and militia where jihad success is possible. And yes, so Pakistan, yeah. Yeah, it's just going back to the same thing again. There's not, if there was an awakening marker right there, right in there, right now, but obviously we're not at that stage yet, then I would be trying to work out if it was possible, or trying to think about it a bit more, shall we say. So yes, now hold on, it's got adjacency here. So that's yes. Among candidates, well, there's only one, Pakistan, but among candidates, find travel to priority. So travel to Pakistan. Is there a movable cell adjacent? A movable cell. Yeah. Well, fair point, because that's a yes. So we're going to travel. And the reason I say that's a fair point is because, remember, they'll not move the last cell out of a regime change country. Mind you, we've got 2 regime change countries now. Does it tell us this on the travel? I think I need to look in the rules for it. 8.3. Right. Why am I not seeing that? Is it because it's a solo thing? Maybe. Right, I'm just not reading that there. I know it's there. Yeah, on the, maybe it is just a solo thing. Only travel the last cell out of an auto-recruit country if at least 2 other auto-recruit countries have cells. Well, there's not at least 2 others, so there's only 1 other auto-recruit country. So, however, it's, well, yeah, here's the thing. The ops value for this is 3. Okay, this is interesting then. So this might allow us to use this, just use 2 of the points here, 2 of the operation points, and use the last one for something else. It might be that radicalization thing. So yeah, so it's one to travel to Pakistan, and yeah, when we come to the travel, well, actually, I should go to here first, shouldn't I? Is there a poor Muslim with 1 to 4 more cells than, yeah, we're GSP? Yeah, and it is Pakistan, right? So it's going to stop there. That's the travel to. And then travel from is if it can do it from adjacent. Well, and the reason we know that is because that comes from there. It looks there and says, is there one adjacent? Then it'll do the travel. So if it wasn't adjacent, it might, yeah, it probably just recruit. So, yeah, travel from adjacent. Yeah, okay, because it's going to be auto travel. Sorry, it's going to succeed. I'm not going to have to roll a dice for that. Where are we here? Travel, each success. Yeah, to an adjacent or within the same country is automatic success. Okay, so yeah, but interestingly, although the operation points is 3, it would want to travel all these 3 successfully into Pakistan, but like I've just read there, it'll only travel the last cell out of an auto-recruit country, which is what this is, if at least 2 other auto-recruit countries have cells. And they don't. We've only got 1 other auto-recruit country. So I'm going to say that it's going to travel to these cells and leave that 1 behind into Pakistan, which is kind of scary. I mean, it would have been even scarier still, because is this not their first card play? It is. Because it would have been scarier if they had moved that 1 as well. Because then they could have done a Major Jihad with their second card. But however, that it does say that's the rules. It looks like that's just a solo rule. So let me look at in the main rules here. About traveling. For travel. Okay. Thing is, I'm looking at the old, maybe the old rulings here. It's maybe something that got brought in. The awakening rules, maybe. I mean, it clearly says it as a note there, so I'm not. Let me pause and have a look. Yeah, I get the feeling this maybe was something that was in the new rules. So this is awakening rules regarding the jihadist bot. Where am I? Travel. Yeah, so this is on page 8 of the awakening rules. So it says travel. When performing a travel operation, jihadist bot first identifies the target country and then determines the country or countries from which cells will travel. Jihadist bot will never travel the last cell out of an auto-recruit country unless at least 2 other auto-recruit countries have a cell. Thus, the last cell in an auto-recruit country is not considered movable, and that's why I challenged that word at first and then thought, right, okay, except when 2 other auto-recruit countries have a cell. Right. And I'm not sure that was in the base rules. It might have been. I'm not seeing it there, but it's clear that, I mean, we're using that bot, and it was improved over the original bot. At least I believe it was. So we're gonna go with that. Okay, so the 2 cells of travel. So that's we've only spent 2 points. So then we come to this, which we've not seen before, and it's radicalization. It says, with all unused ops value. And I think we move on to that now, because we can't. Well, hold on here. Yeah, hold on. Because we could travel a cell from Iraq, couldn't we? So we know the travel to was Pakistan. Travel from yeah, I'm starting to think that because we could only travel 2 from there, they were adjacent. Travel from an auto-recruit country. There's a second option. So in actual fact, why would they want to do that? Why would that be the second priority? Well, I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to think about that. So that was the first priority. But we can't travel that last one. But we could attempt to travel one from Iraq to Pakistan, I think. Yeah, I think we could do that. So travel Each point of card value used for travel enables a cell to move from country to country, and if active, shifts it to sleeper. Non-adjacent travel must roll the destination's country's governance number or less to succeed. Travel between adjacent countries or within a country automatically succeeds. A failed travel roll removes the cell at the funding track. Designate all origin and destination countries for a card play before rolling. A cell may only travel once. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we do this with other point. There are 3 points. Is this right, Grant? I think so. It's ringing bells from the video footage that I've watched as well. So yeah. So we would designate that 2 cells were travelling from Afghanistan to Pakistan and 1 was going to attempt to travel. But these are automatic, obviously. And this one would be a die roll. So I'm going to do that. I mean, it's bad for us, because then they could have the 5 cells and they've got a card to come. So we're going to roll one of these active cells are going to attempt to travel to Pakistan. They need to roll a 3 or less on 1 dice. Here we go. Oh my, okay, that's bad. So that's a success. So this is going to travel, and when it travels, if it was active, it then becomes a sleeper. So it travels to Pakistan. That's them used up their 3 points. I'm pretty sure that's right. I don't think we would use the last point for radicalisation if there are options to still travel from other countries. And I think the thing that got me a bit of the stuff that I read there was talking about it can travel from different destinations, can't it? That might have been the bit in the Awakening rules that I just read. Travel, when performing a travel, the jihadist bot first identifies the target country and then determines the country or countries from which cells will travel. So there you go. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, that's our first card play, so it could be kind of scary, that's. Well, they're going to try a major jihad in Pakistan. I just hope this is not... Well, unless they draw an event, I suppose. I hope the card's not a big 3 value anyway, because then they're going to get 3... Because remember, they've got to get 2 successes, haven't they? Right, give me a second. Right, okay. That definitely was that was their first card. Right, okay, so their second card play is a big 3. Not only that, it's an unassociated event. No, they might still just play the event then, Grant. Okay. Because if that had been a US card, it would have been a straight up. So if this is a playable event, we might get out of this. So Saleh, Yemen leader plays double game. So test Yemen, right? Well, we can certainly do that. And then, well, it's not going to be a US play. If jihadists shift it 1 box towards adversary and place besieged regime. If it was US play, unless there's Islamist rule, shift it to ally and place 1 aid. Okay, so we are getting away with this, I think. This is a playable event. Playable non-US event. Playable non-US event, yes. Play the event, and then is it unassociated? Yes. And then we're going to add the ops to reserves. So I think that was quite lucky there, because it would have been, like I say, if that had been unplayable, they would have been doing a major jihad attempt in Pakistan. Okay, so Saleh, well, card 119. Alright, it's just here. Second last card on it. Is it there? Right, yeah. Saleh, 2001 to question mark, recalling frictions over the investigation of Al Qaeda's 2000 bombing of the USS Cole in a Yemeni port. The US after 9/11 pressed Yemeni President Ali Abdullah Saleh to join the war on terror unequivocally, but strong Islamist factions and prevalent anti-US sentiment in the country kept Saleh on a tightrope. Yemen accepted US anti-terror assistance but refused to extradite its detainees involved in the Cole plot. The later release or escape of all those detainees, along with continued Al-Qaeda haven in less controlled parts of the country, fueled US suspicions and diversion of Yemeni security forces from anti-Al-Qaeda operations to the quelling of a Shiite rebellion in the north of the country, left Yemen's alliance with the US as equivocal at the outset of President Obama's administration as it had been in Bush's. That was a big sentence at the end there. Running out of breath. Okay. So we're going to play this event. So we're going to test Yemen, and then if you had this, we're going to shift it one box towards adversary and place besiege regime. So where is Yemen? Right, it's here. Boom. Right, so we're going to test Yemen. So it's a Muslim country, so it's going to be 1 to 4, it's going to be poor, 5 to 6, it's going to be fair. There we go. That's 4, just outside for us. So it's going to be poor. So it would normally be, poor neutral. Let me just put that in place first. So it would be poor neutral. What does the card say again? We shift it, or was it just shifting governance? Shift it one box towards adversary and place besiege regime. Right, well, no, that's even worse then. Yeah, so it was always going to move to adversary because testing it always becomes neutral. I mean, okay, it could have been fair, could end up being fair, but it's not. So it's going to be poor adversary, and we're going to get a besiege regime marker in it, which is bad as well, because, well, it gives 1 success when you roll on major jihad, so, and you need 2, so it's 1 built in already. Okay, that's that. 48 minutes, that's going to be quite good actually, because I think I'm just about done. I'd like to play in a bit, I'm getting a bit weary though. So that was the 2 cards of the jihadist player. And I missed something there. I've not adjusted the track, right? Should do that right away, Grant. So I was just thinking of other things. So another poor country. So this jumps up to that. So 8 poor and 1 fair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 fair. No resources. It's not good. And there's no Islamist rule. No, okay. That's it. Should we have a wee glance at our cards maybe before we go? It's only 49 minutes. Let me lay them out. I might not study them fully, but... Right, okay, so nothing like I had the last time. So we only drew 2 US cards this time. Remember, Ethiopia Strikes is still hanging around us there. We drew 3 unassociated ones and 3 jihadist cards. So, yeah, maybe tougher this time. Yeah, I think I'll spend some time looking through them myself before I hit record again on the camera. Play of a regime change. So, play of a regime change country has a cell. Yeah, that's playable. Well, that's not going to be playable. So we want to make the most of that. Weak, play if enhanced measures, rendition, or wire tapping is in the event box. That's not playable either. Yeah, well, that's good. So that's pretty good, actually. 2 out of the 3 are not playable. 2 out of the 3 jihadist cards are not playable. And we should be able to benefit from these. Oh, if you just play if either Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, or Jordan has troops. Well, Iraq's got troops at the moment, so that's playable. If you just play +3 prestige, remove this card. That's pretty good. Hezbollah, if you just play, well, there's no condition to play this, so it's playable. If you just play remove a cell from Shia mixed country within 3 countries of Lebanon, within 3 countries, so yeah, okay, that's doable. Iraq's only 1, I think, but it's doable. Maybe not that powerful a card though, so maybe use that for ops. If troops in overstretch, +2 funding. If troops at low intensity, -2 funding. Low intensity is right, well, we're not out there. So yeah, I mean, we don't really want to play that event, I don't think. And hold on. If we play an unassociated event for ops, does that still trigger the event? No, it doesn't, Grant. No, you're being silly. It doesn't. It's only the jihadist cards, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, because that wouldn't make sense, because then we could just play. Yeah, I mean, we could play this for the ops and then trigger the event as well. That would, yeah. So you obviously, if I just want to play that for ops, that's fine. If I want to play that for ops, it's going to trigger the event, and that one will play, whereas these 2 won't. Right, the 3 US cards, we've got Benazir Bhutto. Play if no Islamist rule within 1 country of Pakistan. Well, that's the case at the moment, but I'm a bit worried about Pakistan, so we're going to have to do something there. No jihad there. If at poor, shift to fair. Play if no Islamist rule within 1 country of Pakistan. Right, so where's the target of this card? I wish they would play if no Islamist rule within 1 country of Pakistan. No jihad there. Does it mean Pakistan? If at poor, shift to fair. Block Musharraf. Block by Bhutto shot. Mark and remove. Within 1 country of Pakistan. I don't know, am I being daft there? I suppose I'm maybe not used to the way that it's worded, these, I think. Maybe it's just me. I mean, I think the target is Pakistan. Okay. We'll get there. Right, and then wiretapping, play if any cadres, cells, or pots in the US, UK, or Canada. Well, there's not. Remove them all, place no cadres, draw a card, can be blocked by leak. Did we not have a leak? Well, yeah, a leak is there. See, so if we put wiretapping in the event box, that then becomes playable. So we need to watch that. Well, the thing is, we can't play this anyway. Not at the moment, anyway. So, okay, so we just use that for ops, and that means that week's fine. Okay, well, I'm closing in on an hour. That's going to have to do it. whether I'll get the chance tomorrow again, that's me kind of run out of time a little bit. Got other things to do, and yeah, well, you know what? I've got another game started now where I was just leaving it once I finished up the other side of the hill. I just left the table empty and wondered what I was going to play, but now it's on the go. I can always try and get a part in from time to time. I'm sure I will. Okay, I'll get away for now, and I'll be back later. Cheers.